Chapter 10. Alcohol, Drugs, and Driving. Driving a motor vehicle is a privilege. It takes skill and common sense. Alcohol, drugs, or fatigue will cause your driving to suffer, and it is your responsibility to know when you are not in shape to drive. Driving under the influence of alcohol or drugs, even medicine, or driving when you're tired can have deadly consequences for you, your passengers, and other motorists. Drinking and driving is not worth the risk of your life and the lives of others. Even a small amount of alcohol may affect your driving ability. If you are going to drink, let someone else drive who has not been drinking. Missouri laws are tough. If you are found guilty of drinking or using drugs while driving, you may pay a fine, lose your license, or even go to jail. If you injure or kill someone because you were drinking or using drugs while driving, you may spend 2 to 7 years in jail, you may pay a $5,000 fine, or you may lose your driver license for 5 years. When a police officer stops you and suspects you have been drinking, the officer may ask you to take some tests, like walking heel to toe or standing on one leg. These tests will help the officer decide if you should be arrested and have a chemical test of your breath, blood, or urine. The results of this test is known as your blood alcohol content level, or your BAC. Administrative actions. If your BAC level is 0.08% or more, that's 0.08%, or for minors, 0.02% or more, 0.02%, the officer will take your license away and give you a notice. This notice tells you that your license will be suspended or revoked, and you will not be able to legally drive after 15 days. The notice includes a 15-day driving permit that you can use if the officer indicates this on the notice. The notice also allows you to request a hearing, or if eligible, request an immediate 90-day restricted driving privilege, or RDP. If you are given a hearing, you may continue to legally drive until 15 days after a decision is mailed to you. There are 2 types of actions that may be taken against you for driving when you are not fit to drive. There are administrative actions and court-convicted actions, which carry different penalties. The following shows the administrative actions that you can expect to face if you are arrested for driving under the influence of alcohol or drugs. The administrative action of license suspension. For the first offense, a 90-day suspension, you may be eligible for a 90-day or 60-day restricted driving privilege. For a second offense, a 90-day suspension for a second offense that occurred outside a 5-year period. You may be eligible for a 90-day or 60-day restricted driving privilege. The administrative action of license revocation. For a second offense within a 5-year period, a 1-year license revocation. To get your license back, please see page 71 for reinstatement requirements. To be eligible for a 90-day or 60-day restricted driving privilege, an ignition interlock device installation is required for reinstatement, an IID. Court-convicted actions. If you receive a ticket and a judge finds you guilty of driving while intoxicated, a DWI, or blood alcohol content of 0.08% or more, you will not be able to legally drive after the ticket is sent to the department. Your license will be suspended, revoked, or denied based on your past driving record, and the points will be added to your record. You will be notified by mail when you must stop driving. The chart here shows the consequences of a court-convicted action like DWI or BAC. For the crimes of BAC, driving and/or operating a vehicle with 0.08% blood alcohol content or more, and/or a DWI, driving while intoxicated. For a first offense, spend up to 6 months in jail and pay up to a $500 fine and a 90-day suspension. You may be eligible for a 90-day or 60-day restricted driving privilege. Second offense, spend up to 1 year in jail, pay up to a $1,000 fine, and a 1-year license revocation. For a second offense within 5 years, a 5-year license denial. Note that only a BAC with a conviction date of August 28, 2009 or after can be used toward a 5-year denial. For a third offense, spend up to 4 years in jail, pay up to a $5,000 fine, and a 10-year license denial. For a fourth offense, spend up to 7 years in jail, pay up to a $5,000 fine. For a fifth offense, spend between 5 and 15 years in jail. For a third and subsequent offenses, a 10-year license denial. To get your license back, please see page 71 for reinstatement requirements. Missouri's Abuse and Lose Law. If you are younger than 21 years of age, your driver license may be taken away for 90 days for any of the following: any intoxication, alcohol-related traffic offense, if you possess or use alcohol or drugs while driving a vehicle, if you alter, modify, or misrepresent a driver license, or if you are under 18 years of age and possess or use alcohol and are charged with a second offense. If you are 21 years of age or older, you may have your driver license taken away for 1 year if you possess or use drugs while driving. To get your license back, you must pay a $45 fee. You must submit a form showing you completed a substance abuse traffic offender program or comparable program, using the acronym SATOP. You must provide proof of insurance for 2 years, SR22 filing, and you must retake the complete driver exam. Minor in possession, MIP, and other intoxication-related offenses. If you are older than 15 years of age and under 21 years of age, a state court may suspend or revoke your driver license for any of the following: for purchasing or attempting to purchase any intoxicating liquor, for possessing any intoxicating liquor, consumption constitutes possession, for being visibly intoxicated as defined in Section 577.001 RSMO, or having a blood alcohol content level of more than 0.02%, 0.02%. The following shows the consequences a young person faces for MIP and other intoxication-related offenses. For the crime of minor in possession, MIP, first offense, 30-day suspension. Second offense, 90-day suspension. Third offense, 1-year revocation of driver license. To get your license back, pay a $45 fee and attend a substance abuse traffic offender program or a comparable program. If your driving privilege is revoked for 1 year, provide proof of insurance for 2 years, SR22 filing, and retake the driver exam. Proof of insurance. If you are facing consequences of a DWI or BAC, you will be required to file proof of insurance with the Driver License Bureau. The most common method of filing proof of insurance is an SR22 insurance filing. Proof of insurance must be kept on file with the Driver License Bureau for 2 years. If you do not keep proof of insurance on file, your driver license will be suspended for the rest of the 2 years, unless you file proof of insurance and pay a $20 fee. There is one exception to this rule. Minors with a BAC of 0.02% or more do not have to file a proof of insurance on a first offense. More information about insurance is included in Chapter 13 of this guide. Refusal to submit to a chemical test of your blood alcohol content, your BAC. If a police officer stops you and you refuse to take a chemical test to determine your BAC, your driver license will be taken away for 1 year. Your driver license may be reinstated if you submit the requirements listed here. Reinstatement requirements for intoxication-related offenses. Your license will be reinstated if you pay a $45 fee. If you submit a form showing you completed a substance abuse traffic offender program or comparable program, an SATOP. If you provide proof of insurance for 2 years, SR22 filing. And if you have an ignition interlock device installed, an IID, on any vehicle you operate for at least 6 months from date of reinstatement, if you have more than one intoxication-related law enforcement contact. Ignition interlock. An ignition interlock device, an IID, is a mechanical unit that is connected to the vehicle's ignition, horn, and headlights, and measures the concentration of alcohol in a person's breath. The IID requires vehicle operators to provide a breath sample before starting the vehicle and periodically during the operation of the vehicle. If you have more than one intoxication-related contact showing on your driver record, you must have an IID installed on any vehicle you operate before your driving privilege can be reinstated. The IID must be maintained for a minimum of 6 months from your reinstatement date, without any violations in the last 3 months. You must pay for having the device installed and for having it serviced every month. If you fail to maintain the IID, your driving privilege will be resuspended. You will be required to have the device serviced, installed, send proof to the Driver License Bureau, and pay a $20 reinstatement fee before having your driving privilege reinstated. In addition to driver licensing requirements, a court may impose other requirements, such as IID use for the first DWI conviction, or use of a device for longer than 6 months. If you receive a ticket for failing to have an IID installed as required by law, and you are convicted in court, your driving privilege will be revoked for 1 year. A second offense requires your driving privilege to be taken away for 5 years. To locate a list of approved ignition interlock devices and installers, visit the following website: http://MO.DOT/safety/highway_safety/Missouri Impaired Driving Laws.htm, or contact the Missouri Department of Transportation at 800-801-3588. Physical and mental effects of alcohol and drugs. Alcohol and other drugs can create physical and mental changes in the body that make it difficult to drive. Judgment, vision, reflexes, and alertness can all be impaired by alcohol and other drug use. It is dangerous and illegal to drive under the influence of alcohol or other drugs. In Missouri, a person can be charged with DWI, driving while intoxicated, for driving while impaired by alcohol, illegal drugs, prescription medication, over-the-counter medication, or any combination of these. The use of any drug. The law does not distinguish between prescription, over-the-counter, or illegal drugs, which impairs your ability to drive safely, is illegal. The penalties for DWI in Missouri are exactly the same as whether the impairment is from drugs or alcohol. The punishment for those convicted of DWI is up to 6 months in prison and a fine of up to $500 and the loss of driving privileges. Drunk and/or drug driving puts the driver, passengers, and others who share the road at risk. Please keep yourself and others safe by not driving while impaired. Alcohol. Alcohol can significantly impair the brain and body so that it is unsafe to drive. Alcohol slows reflexes and decreases reaction time, making it unsafe for drivers to quickly react to a variety of situations. Alcohol can affect vision, including slowing down eye muscle function, altering visual perception, and impairing night vision. Alcohol can cause drowsiness, decreased concentration, and decreased attention. Alcohol can also impair coordination, reduce comprehension, and limit the ability to make rational decisions. It is illegal to drive with a blood alcohol content, BAC, of 0.08% or more. 0.04% for commercial vehicle drivers, and 0.02% if under 21. Remember, even one drink is likely to affect your ability to drive safely, and in many cases, 2 drinks could place you over the legal blood alcohol limit. Prescription and over-the-counter medications. Remember that all medications, both prescription and over-the-counter, are potentially dangerous and can impair driving, even when taken as directed. Check with your physician or pharmacist and read the warning label if you are not sure whether taking the medication will affect your driving. It is your responsibility to know the effects of the medications you take. Over-the-counter medicines that you take for colds and allergies can make you drowsy and affect your driving ability. PEP pills, uppers, and diet pills can make a driver more alert for a short time. Later, however, they can cause a person to be nervous, dizzy, and not be able to concentrate. They can also affect vision. Any drug that, quote, may cause drowsiness or dizziness, end quote, is one you should not take before driving. Do not mix medications unless directed by your physician. Do not take medications prescribed for someone else. This is dangerous and illegal. Use medications only as prescribed. Do not mix alcohol with your medications, prescribed or over-the-counter. Medicines taken together or used with alcohol can be dangerous. Many drugs have unexpected side effects when taken with alcohol. Make sure you read the label and know the effects of any drug you use. Marijuana. Marijuana is the second most cited drug in car crashes after alcohol. Even though medical marijuana was approved by Missouri voters, effective in 2020, it is never legal or safe to drive while under the influence of marijuana. Marijuana can impair cognitive function, impair judgment of time and distance, and decrease coordination. Research studies have shown negative effects of marijuana on drivers, including an increase in lane weaving, poor reaction time, and altered attention to the road. Use of alcohol with marijuana made drivers even more impaired, causing even more lane weaving. Substance use disorder. Substance use disorders occurs when the recurrent use of alcohol and/or drugs causes clinically and functionally significant impairment, such as health problems, disability, and failure to meet major responsibilities at work, school, or home. Substance use disorders put people at greater risk for injuring themselves or others in a motor vehicle crash. If you feel you have a substance use disorder, there is help available. Currently, many Americans are being treated and have been treated successfully for substance use disorders. Locate a treatment provider near you by calling the SAMHSA or Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration National Helpline at 1-800-662-HELP 4357. This is a free and confidential helpline available 24 hours a day, 365 days per year. One of the greatest predictors of someone developing an addiction is early use. If someone experiments with harmful substances or illicitly obtained medications before their brain is fully developed, they are more vulnerable to the negative effects. A young person's underdeveloped brain can become damaged quicker and more severely than an adult brain using the same substances. Therefore, a young person is more susceptible to developing a substance use disorder. This concludes Chapter 10.